It was the sudden appearance of a warp storm at the Kaurava system's outer edge that first caught the attention of the Imperium, and not just the Imperium. After hundreds of years under the neglectful watch of the Imperial Guard, nearly every force in the galaxy would descend upon the planet of Kaurava, bent only on domination and victory. 3 races had long dwelled in there. The Imperial Guard, its supposed rulers, the Orc tribes of Kaurava II, which the Guard had never successfully put down, and the Necron, who had slept undisturbed for untold millennia beneath Kaurava III. Where the Chaos Marines came from, or how, none can say. Did the Warp Storm bring them, or did they bring the Warp Storm? Both appeared suddenly on Kaurava IV, and in an eye blink, half the system's Imperial forces were gone, killed or claimed by the madness of chaos. In quick succession, the others flocked to Kaurava. The Space Marines, the Imperium's super soldiers, descended on Kaurava II, planning to finally cleanse the system, both of the troublesome Orks and the Chaos Marines, the sworn mortal enemies. The Tau appeared next, not far above, on one of the planet's moons. In the interests of protecting its ordered empire from the effects of human folly, the Tau came seeking to contain the Warp Storm, and in so doing, expand the territory's border. On their moon, they built a mighty fortress, and there forged a space cannon capable of interplanetary devastation. Among the wastes of Kaurava III, the Necrons, perhaps awakened by the disruptive forces of the Warp Storm, slowly massed their lethal legions. In quick response, webway gates, long unused, flickered to life, and Eldar poured forth, ready to battle their dark, death-dealing adversaries. Meanwhile, in the shadow of an ancient portal gate, the Dark Eldar slipped stealthily out of the murky depths of the webway. They would be like carrion birds, flying above the battlefield, and when all were weary from the fight, make the battlefield into a feasting ground. Last to arrive, and perhaps most to be feared, were the Sisters of Battle, holy maidens and bearers of the God Emperor's faith. They had come to cleanse the system of corruption and filth. Their faith left them fanatical, unafraid of death and zealous in their cause. Nothing here was clean. All must be purged. Now, war rages anew, and only the victorious may write their history. Only the victorious will claim the planets of Kaurava.
You see, Big Boss Gorgut, this here's the strongest and bestest Orkhold has ever held an Ork.
Oh, is that so then?
Ain't no humans got in here ever. With the rock-claw mountains all round us, there's only one way in. Even if there was to get in, they'd have all the boys to face. Oh, and the knobs, and the tanks. Then there's the squig-offs.
Say they beat all that.
That's when we get them with the fighter bombers. We'd squash them to a pulp. We got watchers watching day and night. Nobody but an Ork gets close to us without we see them and crush them to smithereens. Boss! Boss! There's enemies in the camp! What? In the camp? We gotta stop them before they gets to the killing spot. Them drums! Beat the drums! Get to 'em!
Watch this here killy spot.
Beat the drums! We've got to hold the killy spot!
Bestest orc hold ever, huh?
Cleanse, purge, kill, correct us. Orders received.
Beware the alien, the mutant.
We are the Emperor's
Get 'em,
chosen.
boys! Smash 'em good! Show 'em the Orks is the best!
Here to serve. With all due haste. Build routine 721 initiated.
Taking damage.
Scouts reporting for duty.
Heresy grows from idleness.
He who stands with me shall be my
At your command. Fire in the hole! At your command. Activating jump. Until severe denies faith.
This day shall be a glorious one for the Imperium.
At your command. On patrol.
The Emperor dictates.
Ever vigilant. Orders received.
At your command.
We are the Emperor's chosen. Taking hits.
On alert, brothers. The enemy must be nearby. What would you have? This day shall be a glorious one for the Imperium.
Scouts awaiting orders. Our aim is true.
We are the Emperor's chosen.
My faith is my shield.
Scouts ready. Lining up our targets.
Taking heavy fire. What's your order? For the Emperor.
That giant banner they have there. Knock it down. That will demoralize them.
Yes, my lord. I sense danger. We will root it out.
What would you have me do?
My war banner! Take out my war
stand ready.
banner! My isle!
Weapons at ready. It is time.
I shall rally the troops to your cause. This day shall be a glorious one for the Imperium.
Onward to glory.
Scouts here.
Supporting our brothers. Supporting our brothers.
Scouts ready.
He who stands with me shall be
Now
my
we see
brother.
if you boys
Under
is
fire.
worth to be called
At your
orcs.
command.
Get in place, me boys. Fight and fight good. Fight! The killing spot is ours! Ours!
Scouts here. Yes, my lord.
Ever vigilant.
Apocalypse Protocol.
I accept the challenge.
The litany of deployment has been made today.
By the Emperor it shall be so.
Squad on the move. The enemy is attacking. Advance.
Scouts here. Lining up our targets.
While the enemies of the Emperor still draw breath, there can be no peace.
Feel the might of the righteous. Always vigilance. What's your order? Direct us to the enemy. What's your order? Initiating attack protocol 23. Commencing attack.
This day shall be a glorious one for the Imperial. By my command, attack!
Scouts here. Infiltrating enemy territory.
Direct us. Eyes open. One moment entertainment and get us all. Advance. Moving up. Feel the might of the righteous. Understood. We are the Emperor's chosen. Engaging the enemy.
He who stands with us shall be my brother. My faith is my shield.
On guard. Moving up. Direct us to the enemy.
Today the enemy shall know fear.
Scouts awaiting orders. Yes, my lord. I sense danger. We will root it out.
At your command, any fire. We will crush the enemies of the Imperium. We are the Emperor's chosen.
Today the enemy shall know fear. Follow me into battle!
Scouts awaiting orders. Infiltrating enemy territory.
Faith is our shield. Onward to the... Advanced Unit reporting in.
Apocalypse Protocol. Turret armament locking on target. They got themselves a killing spot!
What's so
We are the
special about
Emperor's
this
chosen.
killing spot of yours? Just take it back.
You
The
try
glory
getting it
of the
back!
Imperium.
You watch your mouth there,
Initiating
you
attack
pimply
protocol
prop.
23. Yes, my lord. Initiating attack protocol 23.
We fly for the Emperor!
the Emperor, it shall be so.
Taking heavy fire.
But it shall be done.
One moment of laxity may condemn us all. Roads from understood. Moving out. Stay vigilant, brothers. For the glory of the Imperium.
You will stand your ground!
At your command. Weapons and ready are the Emperor's chosen. Our faith holds us. Under fire. Direct us to the enemy. Preparing to place target.
I accept the challenge. May you lead us to victory.
Eyes open. One moment of laxity will condemn us all.
My faith is my shield. Faith and duty.
I am ready to serve again.
Fear our wrath.
Stay. By the Emperor, it shall be so.
Scouts awaiting orders.
Under fire.
While the enemies of the Emperor still draw breath, there can be no peace. Your wise counsel allows your peace.
You
This
see,
day shall
the
be a
rock club
glorious
boys
one
will
for the
stop them
Imperium.
good.
We are the Emperor's chosen.
We got tricks we ain't showed yet, we do. You just
For the
watch
glory of the Imperial sacrifice.
Scouts ready.
While the enemies of the Emperor still draw breath, there can be no peace.
Somewhere. If we come to them, they will not be coming to us.
Of his will.
Heresy grows from idleness. Initiating attack protocol 23. Commencing attack.
Today, the enemy shall know fear.
Fire in the hole!
My aim shall not falter.
Scouts awaiting orders.
While the enemies of the Emperor still draw breath, there can be no peace.
Ork tanks.
Taking damage.
Find the machine shops and put a stop to those
What's your
contraptions.
By the Emperor it shall be so. My faith is my shield. Your wise counsel belies your years. Drive them back.
At last, back to war.
Under fire.
Land speeder tempest reporting
Yes, Lord.
Direct us to the enemy. Under fire.
Beware the alien, the mutant.
Scouts ready.
Taking damage. Yes, my lord.
I am the instrument of his will.
An eye for an eye. Follow me. Fire support armor.
Flesh and bone when you can't bring steel.
Taking damage.
Whirlwind artillery tank deployed. Predator deployed. Whirlwind artillery
The
tank
enemy is attacking.
as you command. Predator tank here. The machine spirit is prepared.
No mountain too high, no ocean too deep. Fire away!
I feel cold. Target in sight.
Morello, ready to travel. No mountain too high, no ocean.
Whirlwind here. His wrath falls from the heavens.
Taking heavy fire.
Artifact. Am I?
Marine fighting vehicle. Supporting armed brothers.
I have to deal with.
Marine fighting vehicle. All that lives merely evaporate. Charge! Moving out.
The Emperor will not
No mountain too high, no ocean.
Supporting armed brothers. Onward to glory!
Yes, most beneficent one? With all due haste,
Consolidating positions on the objective.
I await your instructions.
Your prying is
Via denies.
inappropriate.
While the enemies of the Emperor
Scouts awaiting
still draw
orders.
breath, there can be no peace. By the Emperor it shall be so. Bless the mind too small for doubt.
Land Raider armored transport here.
The enemy is attacking.
Whirlwind here. Preparing whirlwind missile battery to fire.
The Emperor
The enemy is attacking.
Morello, ready to travel.
Fire support armor.
what they deserve. I protect the will of the
They're not
Emperor.
overawed. Fire and heart should be Inquisition.
Increasing altitude.
Faith is our shield. Cleanse, purge,
No mountain
kill.
too high,
Supporting
no
armed
ocean.
brothers.
Orders received. Weapons at ready. It is time.
Morello, ready to transport.
The enemy is attacking.
Through rain and mud and hardship. There is no time to spare. Direct me to my target. Increasing altitude.
Targeting.
Spare not the rod.
Transmit attack vector.
Morello, ready to transport.
Turret tracking.
At your command. To the skies. Taking heavy fire. Target vehicle.
Apocalypse protocol.
Take the seats of approval.
Razorback. Drawing transport deployed. Position for strategic advance.
Morello, ready to transport. And to sea.
Taking damage.
The Omnisaya has blessed this sortie. I am yet ready to rain death on our enemies. I receive your box, awaiting next target. There is no time to spare. Direct me to my target.
Engaging the enemy strategy.
Supporting armed brothers.
Onward to glory. We are the Emperor's chosen. Without duty, what are we? Follow me. Taking damage. Benevolence is for fools.
Transmit attack vector.
Emperor's finest. Taking fire.
I feel cold.
We can take anything they throw at us. But it would be less of a nuisance if we did not have these giant beasts on the field slowing our progress.
Orders acknowledged.
Take me into battle.
My faith is my shield.
Enemy fires. After long. Terminators ready.
Under fire!
Deep striking. Terminators ready. Deep striking. Your will.
Walk softly and carry a big gun. Taking command. For the honor of the chapter, I serve mankind.
It is better to die for the Emperor than live for yourself.
Why do they call me?
Keep your hands inside.
Attacking headquarters.
Flame is right to rain death on our enemies. Initiating attack sequence. Hostile engaged. Current trans strike.
No mountain, high, no ocean.
Stand ready. Stand ready. Initiating attack protocol ready.
Morello, tender seeds of approval.
Razorback. Flight transport deployed. We prove our worth in the never-ending battle for mankind's survival.
Yes, Mike. Under fire. Heresy road at your command.
Crusader box. Awaiting next word. Transmit attack vector. Landspeeder Tempest in the air.
Hits.
Landspeeder Tempest, air-to-ground assault. We fly for the Emperor. Assault cannon is hot.
Taking heavy fire.
My faith is my shield.
Supporting our brothers.
The fallen shall be forever remembered as the Emperor's finest.
While the enemies of the Emperor still draw breath, there can be no peace.
Death from above. A far cry from the rock. Faith is our shield. Onward to glory. Taking heavy fire. Direct us to the enemy.
Keep your hands inside. I can protect you. Morello, your hands inside.
Predator tank here. Approaching target.
From beyond the grave, I am called to serve.
Razorback.
For the glory of the Imperium. Stand ready. Objective acquired.
Initializing build protocol. Initializing build protocol. Initializing build protocol. With all due haste.
We stand ready. Cleanse, purge, kill! The Emperor's light is
Yes, Lord? With all due haste. With all due haste. Initializing build protocol. With all due haste.
Land Raider Terminus Ultra at your service. Machine has seen millennia of war, my lord.
Take the seats of approval.
Whirlwind artillery tank here. This great machine has seen millennia
Keep your
of
hands
war,
inside.
my lord. Whirlwind artillery tank here. Land Raider armored transport here.
We stand ready. Understood.
The pinnacle of Astartes' might.
Scouts here. Search commencing.
By the Emperor it shall
I
be
am the
so.
instrument of his will. You need us most. We seek the enemy.
Praise the Emperor.
Enemy fires? Not for long. Whirlwind artillery tank here.
Fate is our shield.
Your wise counsel belies your ears.
Once more, you need to go
My
back.
faith is my shield.
Commander, I am standing by. Plate pattern Omega. Land speeder Tempest, air-to-ground assault.
Taking heavy fire.
We fly for the Emperor.
Your wise counsel belies your ears. This day shall be a glorious one for the Emperor.
For yourself. Cease and repent. We shall repent. We shall cleanse. Once more, we go to battle. Getting hit this time.
I await your instructions. I will do as you ask. With all due haste.
Just trying to march through all those fighter bombers. Identify their point of origin and neutralize it.
Understood.
I can't protect.
At your command. Yes, my lord.
Fear not. Ever vigilant. Engaging the enemy. Ever vigilant.
My Orkhold! My beautiful Orkhold!
I've had enough of this. Come on, boys. Let's get out of here.
In terms of fighting orcs, the Blood Ravens found as great a challenge in the Rocklaw Mountains as any they had ever faced. First was the difficulty in assailing the mountain stronghold itself. Second were the tactics of the infamous war boss Gorguts, whose prowess grew greater with every campaign he fought and survived. As great as the challenge was, the Blood Ravens proved themselves matchless soldiers, undaunted by any foe. After overcoming the Orc hordes and laying waste to their ancient enclave, the Space Marines proceeded to hunt down every last Orc they could find in those mountains. There was only one blemish in the Space Marines' otherwise flawless execution. Gorguts himself somehow eluded their grasp. Some reports attested to a crude rocket which took off at the battle's end, while others claim the blast was a timed bomb, closing off a tunnel entrance to cover the Great Orc's escape.